Hello and welcome again, this time to not so sunny Blackpool, but nevertheless quite a nice place to be in the middle of October. So today I'm going to talk about social phobia, which is linked to any phobia and certainly linked to agoraphobia, which is the fear of going out. Obviously, social phobia is the fear of being around people. So agoraphobia is literally the fear of being in the marketplace, or sometimes translated to being afraid of open spaces. So this is why at the moment I'm near the sea, because there couldn't be a more open space than the Irish Sea. So there it is. And South Pier, Blackpool Pier behind me. So some people would have great fear of an environment like this, fear of open spaces, fear of being out in public, fear of being judged, and a lot of that is to do with fear of being judged by people. So a lot of people would come to a place like this and be afraid of making a video, even though it's only one like this, because there are people behind there walking past, and some people would think, oh, what will they think? What will these people think of me if I'm talking to myself on the phone? Will they think I'm an idiot? Will they judge me in a bad way? And I must put it away, because in case they think that I'm a fool or they think I'm an idiot. Well, that happens to all of us, and the argument in cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT, is that the more you do something, the easier it becomes to do. So you don't suffer as much if you're continually doing it. And psychologists call that habituation. So the more you do it, the better it gets. That's the argument. For some it doesn't work all the time, that they do it again and again and again, and it never seems to feel any better. So you wonder what's underlying the social phobia problem, and why anyone would have a problem with that. Why would people have a problem being here, or why would people have a problem being around other people? And what it boils down to is the fear of being an outcast, one outside the tribe, one that doesn't fit in. If you think about when we used to live in tribes, in small villages and hamlets, and when we were Stone Age men, if we stood out from the crowd in any way, it could have meant to us that we became alienated, or sent to Coventry, or became an outcast, or ostracised. And that ostracisation could mean that we became annihilated, because without being part of the group, we then become lost on our own, and that could mean that we ended up without food, we ended up roaming around in the wilderness. So there's a desire, a very internal desire in all of us, to have to fit in somewhere. Now some people say they don't care, and I think they genuinely don't care. People like the schizotypal, the schizoid, and some very anxious people learn not to care. They'd like to fit in, because connectedness with others is very important psychologically, but they come to the point that it's too hard to carry on trying, to carry on striving for something that they feel they can't achieve, so they give up with it. So that's where it comes from, the need and the desire to fit in with the crowd, not to look stupid, not to look like an idiot. And so, because if we were alienated from the crowd, it could mean that we were cut off, which could mean survival. So that is a social phobia, and agoraphobia is something from the olden days, the prehistoric days if you like, that we learned to do in order to survive. We learned to fit in order to survive. So how does that fit into the present day problems that we see now with social phobia and agoraphobia? Well, it doesn't in a way, because we can cut ourselves off. But even in this day and age, if we cut ourselves off too much from the crowd or the family, it could be that it turns out for us to be difficult to cope again. It could be that without the family, we're not able to cope, and therefore the more able we are to join in with others, the better support network it is, and the better we get on in life. So that's the social phobia. This is only part one of it, because obviously there's a lot to say about it. So the more you can immerse yourself with people, the better it is. And the more you can push yourself into environments like this, even making a fool of yourself slightly, the better it is. It'll feel slightly anxiety provoking, you'll feel a little bit nervous, you won't feel good about it, but the more you can do it, the better it'll get. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. That's the theory anyway. So good luck with that, and I'll see you next time.